Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you happen to be watching, I hope that this message finds you in good spirits and good health this Christmas day. You know, when we come upon the Christmas season, I think a lot of us use it as a time of reflection because it's hard to not think about the Christmases of the past when we start seeing all of those decorations go up and we start hearing those Christmas songs on the radio. When I think about Christmas past, especially the Christmases of my childhood, there are two in particular that always come to mind. One my family refers to nowadays as the Lion King Christmas. This was in the mid-90s and the Lion King was huge, and my sister and I were both really big fans. And so we started Christmas morning by waking up in our beds, only something was different. Somehow in the middle of the night, all of our sheets and comforters had been changed into Lion King bedding. And my sister and I thought this was just the most magical thing. We had so much fun debating all throughout the day on Christmas of how Santa managed to put new sheets on the beds that we were sleeping in without us waking up. And so we eventually came to the conclusion that Santa must have some levitating powers. Maybe it relates to how he flies his sleigh. And so he must have levitated us up off of our beds so he could change the sheets without waking us up. In addition to the magic of waking up on a new bed, my parents also had arranged it so all of the presents were unwrapped and spilling out of the fireplace. And when we went to investigate closer, we found these suspicious looking scraps of red velvet stuck to the inside of the fireplace. And I remember my dad deducing, well, looks like Santa's bag of presents must have ripped on the way down, and so this is why all the presents are here unwrapped. What a joy it is to be a kid on Christmas and get to experience the magic of the season. So that was a really memorable Christmas, but actually my favorite Christmas from being a kid was actually when I was 14. And on this Christmas, my dad handed each of us a bank envelope with $100 on it. And we went around on Christmas Eve and went to all these different stores in the small town that we lived in. And our only job was to find somebody at random to give the $100 to, a complete stranger. And so I remember going to all these different stores and just trusting myself about who I was going to give this money to. So I found my person at Goodwill, and it was a mom with 3 young sons. And I walked around Goodwill and I watched as she would say, "Oh, what is that over there?" and send the boys to go look at something on the other side of the store while she would sneak a present into the cart and cover it with something else so the boys wouldn't see it when they came back. So the boys were off wandering around and playing. I asked one of them, "Is that your mom?" And he said yes. And so I gave him the envelope and I said, "I want you to go take this to your mom right away." And so I watched as he ran up to her, and once I saw him hand the envelope to his mom, I turned around and started walking out of the store. But before too long, before I really got there, the mom caught up with me and tapped me on the shoulder, and I just remember her asking me, "Why?" And I was 14 and I wasn't really sure what to say, so I just said, "It's for you. Merry Christmas." But that feeling has always stayed with me, and I thought it was such a gift that my parents gave by helping us to be part of someone else's Christmas miracle. So yes, it's a joy to experience a Christmas miracle, but it's even more of a joy to be part of someone else's. So after we've reflected on the Christmases of the past, we find ourselves in this Christmas, our Christmas present. And maybe this Christmas you are surrounded by loved ones and enjoying the fun times of the season and the gift giving and the cookies and all the stuff that comes with it. Or maybe this Christmas is a bit bittersweet and you find yourself recognizing the fact that this may be your last Christmas with someone that you love. Or maybe this year happens to be your first Christmas without someone's physical presence and you miss them. Wherever you find yourself this Christmas, I want you to know that the Spirit of God, that Christ light, is within you and accessible to you always. One of the things I love about my tradition of Unity is that our teachings are very practical and accessible. Our spiritual teachings are something that you can use to get comfort and love and support from that deep well of peace of God within you. And one of those teachings that I love from Unity, and especially think about during the Christmas season, is the teaching of the 12 powers. So Unity teaches that each of us has within us that Christ light, that divine imprint from being made in the image and likeness of God. And just like you can send light through a prism and it will be refracted into all these different colors of the rainbow, so light looks white, but really that white light is composed of so many other colors. Unity teaches that our inner Christ light is composed of 12 different spiritual faculties that are inherent in us, that are gifts from God, that are spiritual powers that we can tap into and use whenever we need them. The 12 powers can be a great tool for self-reflection because you can look at an area of your life where maybe you're struggling or things just aren't feeling great. And you can say, okay, what powers am I really using in this situation and what powers am I missing? Or you can look to an area of your life where you're wanting to make a shift and identify which of your 12 powers, or maybe a few of them, are going to most support you in making that shift that you're looking to make. And all you have to do is call upon them. They are always there, always accessible to you. You draw them out with the power of your word and your intention. So I'd like to give you a few examples of how you can use the 12 powers this Christmas season or any time in your life that you're needing a little bit extra support. So if I find myself really clinging to the past, clinging to some old wounds, that might be a signal for me to call forth my power of release, which can help me release some of that old baggage so I don't keep reliving the same cycles over and over again. I can also call upon my power of spiritual understanding, which helps broaden my perspective so that I can reconcile where I've been with where I am now to get a more holistic and loving and appreciative view of my life path and where it's brought me. And I can also lean on and call forth my power of faith, which keeps me looking towards the future and keeps me filled with hope even when I'm in circumstances that I'm not happy with. If I am wanting to form some new habits that are going to be good for me and help support me long term, I can lean into my 12 powers for this as well. My power of imagination is what helps me envision a different future, where I can look towards what it's going to feel like, what my life is going to look like when I have fully embodied this new habit. Or my power of order, which helps me balance pushing towards change and also going with the flow. The power of order teaches us that we create everything in our lives through an orderly process of holding ideas in mind and then seeing them outpictured in expression. So order keeps me balanced and keeps me keeping on when things get tough. And then there's the spiritual power of strength, which helps us stay the course and be steadfast in pursuit of our unfolding. If this Christmas or any time in my life I find myself feeling kind of stuck and apathetic, like I'm not really sure where to go from here, then I can tap into my power of wisdom. The power of wisdom goes beyond the intellect to help you tap into the wisdom of your heart and to the wisdom of your soul so that you can discern what spirit is calling you to next. And there is the power of power, which reminds me that my life is mine to create, that the power within me can make anything a possibility. And of course, my power of will, which helps me get started, which gives that initial spark of motivation to start onto a new path or to get started or restarted down something that you had forgotten about. Our power of will helps us make new choices and move in a new direction that's going to be more supportive of our spiritual growth and unfoldment. And in those times where everything's going great, I have no complaints whatsoever, then I can remember and be thankful for my power of love, which harmonizes my life and draws my good to me. And my power of zeal, which fills my life with enthusiasm to do what is mine to do. And of course, the power of life, which reminds me that every breath I take, every beat of my heart, every pulse of electricity in every single cell of my body is animated and sustained by the breath, the spirit, the energy of God, of spirit, of universe, as it flows through and expresses as me. So this Christmas, let us celebrate that the light of Christ, that Christ light, is born within us. And that within that light are these spiritual powers that we can use and call forth to help us and support us in every area of our lives. This Christmas, I want to offer you a handout that is called the 12 Powers Self-Assessment. And this will help you look at each of the 12 powers and determine in certain areas of your life if they are underdeveloped or overdeveloped. This was actually a method that was created by Rev Paul Hasselbeck, who was a Unity minister who just passed away a few weeks ago. Reverend Paul was an amazing teacher. I actually had the opportunity to take the 12 Powers class with him when I was going through Unity Seminary, and it just really changed the way that I looked at these teachings, but also at the relationship and the balance between being fully human and fully divine. Paul was such an inspiration and made such an impact on this movement. He literally wrote the book on metaphysics. And I think his spirit and his teachings really live on through his students. So I hope that Rev Paul would give me his blessing to share one of his teachings with you. And you can get it from the link down in the description so you can use that 12 Powers assessment tool for yourself. Wherever you find yourself this Christmas, I hope that you know the power, the strength, the love, the wisdom that is within you always. And I want to leave you with a poem that I actually found from a 1903 publication of Unity magazine. Whenever the Christmas season lends luster and peace to the year, and the ling-long-ling of the bells that ring tell only of joy and cheer, I hear in the sweet wild music these words, and I hold them true. The Christ who was born on Christmas morn did only what you can do. Each soul that has breath and being is touched with heaven's own fire. Each living man is part of the plan to lift the world up higher. No matter how narrow your limits, go forth and make them broad. You are every one the daughter or son, crowned prince or princess of God. Have you sinned? It is only an error. Your spirit is pure and white. It is truth's own ray and will find its way back into the path of right. Have you failed? It is only in seeming. The triumph will come at length. You are born to succeed. You will have what you need if you will believe in your strength. No matter how poor your record, Christ lives in the heart of you. And the shadow will roll up and off from your soul if you will but own the true. For Christ means the spirit of goodness, and all are good at the core. Look searchingly in through the coating of sin, and lo, there is truth to adore. Believe in yourself and your motives. Believe in your strength and your worth. Believe you were sent from God's fair firmament to aid and ennoble the earth. Believe in the Savior within you. Know Christ and your spirit are one. Stand forth defined by your own noble pride and whatever you ask shall be done. God bless you and have a very Merry Christmas.